All right. Hello then, welcome to this week's Shrimps fans panel. We have Mark returning from last week, and then we have Jimmy and Gareth who've been with us before. We'll talk about football first, because that's what we're here for, and the Chesterfield game. Jimmy, you've been sort of advocating a sort of different setup, a different lineup, particularly in midfield. When you saw the team on Saturday, were you quite happy with it on paper?
Yeah, I was made up. I think that is our best midfield as a trio, if you like. Thought Tom White was fantastic. We'll probably talk about some of the goals and what he did in there. But so, for example, first goal is the only one that presses. Yes, he ends up with the deflection and it goes in. But the ball out to Adam Lewis again, fantastic. He sits, doesn't he, which allows McAdams to go, which seems to work for me. I very much like that midfield. I don't know what everyone else thought, but I think we felt balanced.
Yeah, Mark, we were talking about maybe having a reshuffle last week, and where we thought the improvements could be made. We did all right, didn't we, for the first half?
We did all right. First half we did well. We played well. I thought, like you say, Lewis is a top player. Lewis is probably our best player at the moment. Mm-hmm. His crosses are amazing. It's just no one's getting on the end of them.
And it's like you sort of sit there, don't you, and you go, Michael Mellon would have probably had a dozen goals now. Yeah. And they, Chesterfield were putting balls in and people were on the end of him. That's something we really got to learn to maximise that, haven't we?
I mean, personally, I'd have Tom Naylor up front for us. How many? He's 5 goals now. He scored for us.
Yeah, quite.
5 own goals. Yeah. That is some record that he's got again.
Yeah, quite. I never thought that. Yeah.
So I told you, one season I voted him player of the season.
Where was he? Newport.
Newport. Was it Derby as well?
Yeah. Game, he knows how to get on the end of it. But we held our own, didn't we? Into the second half as well, Gareth. He was looking all right, wasn't he?
I'd say more than that. I thought we bossed it.
Yeah.
I thought they were out of ideas. Paddy was dropping deep and they were just struggling to break us down again. It's just that bit of magic, innit?
Yeah.
You just can't convert.
Extra quality, is that all it is?
Just a little sprinkle, I think we're 90% there. Just haven't got that Adam Phillips, that Gomez, that, like say, Mickey Mellon.
Yeah.
We haven't got that bit of star quality, have we?
Is there anything else wrong in... we're saying that we liked the team selection, the starting 11. Jimmy, substitutes? Do you want to comment on that as well?
We haven't really got any, have we? Up to 60 minutes, as you say, I think we were probably the better side. Or nullified them enough. And then they can bring on 2 subs to change. So we became... it's obvious with us, isn't it? We hit Dackers straight away. That's what we do. We don't seem to want to play the ball around, or we've been coached not to. And things just don't seem to work for me. So when we're pressing really high, like he wants us to do, and Stuart Moore has to come out of his box and be the sweeper keeper, but he runs back into his net all the time and then still gets lobbed. So, for example, the goal that went over the top, if you pause it on YouTube, Stuart Moore is exactly where the striker takes his first touch. If he just stood still, he would have hit him. But he ends up with a one-on-one race with Stotty, doesn't he, a striker, De Boer, who absolutely is really pacey and did have a 5-yard head start. But if Stuart Moore just stood still, he cleans that up all day, takes the man, takes Stotty, takes the ball, everything, but he backtracks. So, but then Barry Roach did that, so is he coached to do that? I'm not sure. But things don't seem to link up. If we're pressing, then the keeper has to come out. And if we're sitting, something's not right. But I like the way we play.
For 60 minutes, we were playing well. Till people agree on, and then they got the third goal. And I think then the heads dropped. Plus, they were shooting from anywhere, and the goals were going in. I think the stats said they had 6 shots. They had 6 shots and 5 scored.
I didn't get near one of them, did he?
No, it was like a free kick. All right, it went through bodies, but it didn't take a deflection. I don't know if it's
keep the side, wasn't it?
Yeah. But he moved over, hadn't he? He was positioned right. I think he was positioned right, and then he moved.
But you mentioned substitutes. They can bring on Will Grigg. They've got James Berry there, who I don't know whether you saw
dominated games when he came on
at Macclesfield. We played him in a pre-season friendly Macclesfield, and he ripped us apart. And that was 2-3 years ago, maybe. I think they'd had him on loan from Hull, and then they got him from Hull, and then Chesterfield paid money for him, as I understand it. He's a good player. We've not got that kind of player to bring on, have we?
No, there's a cry for Charlie Brown, isn't there? But people a bit like, I don't know, delusion of grandeur sort of thing, like he's bringing on some sort of really good striker, but he's average, isn't he?
Should we not give him, when say we're 3-0 now, when we went obviously 3-2, should we have not then said, oh, like, maybe let's bring him on? No,
I mean,
let's give him a run out.
Who for? Who would you take
Is,
on?
is it just? I mean, I get that you've nobody on that. To me, that was probably, injuries aside, that was probably the best 11 that we could put out on the pitch. And I didn't disagree with any of that. But is it not a case of you're looking at the players and thinking, well, they might not be better than the ones who are starting the game, but they might just be better than one of those after 70 minutes. You just fresh legs we're talking about.
Just give him a run out. Because if you've got like Charlie Brown who's sitting on the bench all the time, or you just come back and he's not actually getting the game, how's he going to be feeling?
There's got to be a reason. There's got to be. It's not a technical thing. I think it's an attitude thing, mate, for Charlie Brown. If you're not getting that side, you're chomping at the bit, aren't you?
Yeah.
You come back in good nick, don't you?
Yeah.
It looks a bit heavy.
Right.
The
might be something as simple as that. We don't know, do we?
Well,
No, we don't know what's going on.
I guess it.
But I think the problem this week was the way we played with that. Well, he had us pressing really quickly.
Yeah.
The midfield were just gone at 60 minutes. Weren't they? The legs were
There's
gone.
no rotation.
So then you're not pressing and you're giving them the time, and that's what they wanted. So where are the Fairclough, the Dobsons, who bring on young centre midfield legs to do your doggies for you?
Yeah.
But
They're not trusting, are they?
They're not trusting.
I mean, I'd been looking at Callum Jones and I thought he played really well and he was all over the place up to that point. And then I think it was when they scored their third and he just dropped a little bit and he sort of went out of the game. So, it might have just been that we're not saying that they're better than the players that they're replacing necessarily, but at 70 minutes, it's just about fresh legs, isn't it?
That's it. That's all you need. A bit of fresh legs, young fresh legs to do your doggies for you, to do the running. Yeah. That's what was missing.
Because I mean, they were able to bring on decent subs and they all made an impact, didn't they?
Well, yeah, compare their bench to ours, it's chalk and cheese, isn't it? Different worlds. Them that have got and them that haven't.
What are their attendances every week? What, 9,000, something like that. It allows you, doesn't it? We're saying James Berry from Macclesfield. We watched him pre-season, and that's a couple of years ago now, and he absolutely tore us apart. And he's a good player. And they got him from Hull, and then Chesterfield were able to pay money. We know Will Grigg, great player, and he replaces Paddy Madden, another great player. So we're not saying that we've got better players than them or better players than our first 11, but I'm just surprised he doesn't change it up a little bit earlier just for the fresh legs. I mean, that's me. I don't know. What do you think?
I thought till the red went, and then we did need an influx of new players. Well, Derek's done it before. He's put 4 players on, but we haven't got the players to put on. We haven't got that quality of player, to come on.
No, we haven't. We've been playing 5 centre midfielders most games, and then this game we had no centre midfielders on bench.
Well, I mean, it's frustrating, isn't it? Particularly when we see players that we've let go recently. Well, not let go; they've gone recently, and they're not getting a game at other places. Can we see a cheeky bid? Getting players back in January or something. Any of them?
Adam Mayer, you take him all day long, wouldn't you? It benefits Millwall. It gets a bit of a decent run out in a League Two side. I wouldn't touch Cole Stockton with a barge pole.
Although he's always done it for us, hasn't
It's Scott Stockton. All right, don't be wrong. Probably Teddy in the corner when he was promised all this big move, but never came about.
Yeah.
But I think he would score goals for us.
I believe
that he could get goals.
We brought Jackson back and he kept us up that season in conference.
Yeah, it's funny, wasn't it? I'll save your career for your manager. He said, anyway, coming back. But
it has worked in the past, so you never know.
Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? I mean, we're going this coming Saturday. Let's look at that one. We've got a team that are a couple of divisions below us. All right, they've been scoring a few goals, but they are a couple of divisions below us. Is that an opportunity for us to go out and really get a confidence builder? Jimmy, what do you reckon?
I'm worried the opposite way. I mean, imagine if we went there and they thrashed us. I mean, we're already at rock bottom. It could just derail our whole season. It's a long way to travel. They're not going to be great. I guess they're going on a bus, so players won't be that fresh. They'll probably stop the night before. I'm just worried we could get thrashed. But on the other hand, it could be the thing that turns us around. There needs to be some form of change, doesn't there?
Yeah.
And this could be the moment.
Yeah, there does need to be some. I mean, we've got that, and then we've got what I would say a winnable game at Harrogate. You know, there's quite a few of us going to that. You don't look so sure on that.
I've been that, yeah, that's 2 at Harrogate, and I don't. We've not turned up.
No.
We've not played at Harrogate.
Get a win Saturday.
Yeah.
Go
I
bounce.
hope we
Go
get win
bounce at
Saturday.
Harrogate, and then
Yeah.
beat.
And then we've got the Carlisle game, and it's
Carlisle.
all about that, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know, there's
yeah.
money in that
Yeah.
competition, and there's money in the FA Cup if we can get there.
Yeah,
It could sort of define the
Carlisle
season.
put a statement out today because their fans aren't happy with what's going on at the club at the moment with the manager, and the board has turned round, their owners have turned round and said we are fully committed, and then there will be improvements. So they've got improvements. So we need to start getting all these points. We need to start winning Carlisle because we know we can't compete with the likes of Carlisle.
Money-wise.
Money wise, no, they know that they're probably going to have an investment in January.
Yeah.
So we need to have a good FA Cup run, as Derek says, to get the money in, so we can probably have a transfer window in January.
Yeah. I mean, because that's the thing, isn't it? We're looking, and we've mentioned in the last couple of weeks, the one bright thing that we've got is that there are teams around us at the bottom who are not winning games and picking up points as well. Carlisle are one of them, though. That's the thing, you know, and we need to get above teams like that.
Yeah.
don't
Salford as well, who are a money team.
we? Yeah.
If anything's wrong, they can.
That's
they
it. The
can
season's
invest.
sort of split into two, isn't it? You get your August to January. You may do what you signed in the summer, and then what can you do in January?
Yeah.
Can you kick on? Can you invest? Can you get yourself out of trouble?
And that'll have been the thing. I mean, we're mentioning subs off the bench. You know, last year we had quite a few loanees,
Yeah.
and it might have been just that horrible experience of losing half your team in January that's persuaded him to not go down that route.
It
And
got nice as a manager, couldn't it? You got these star lads, and you think like these are getting us what will we unbeaten at home. You know, we could have at Barrow, we could have gone second, maybe top, and then just whipped away from you in January. He said he knew it would come in.
yeah,
So it must be horrible, and you can't replace him.
Trouble is when you're banging goals in full like Mellon was,
Yeah.
Burnley are going to think. Well, that's an investment. We've got to send him somewhere else where we can get. We
You
can
might
get
get another
money
club
off
saying
him.
we'll give you 80% of his wages, we'll give you 90% of his wages, which is probably more than what we're giving. So
Yeah.
There's that slight worry that you've got to play him as well, though. So
Yeah.
Reece Williams going from Liverpool feels like we've got to play him, and to me, I don't think he's our best centre half.
not one that you would play on form.
No, not on form at the
No.
minute. It seems to
it'll be a choice when George Ray comes back, won't it?
Yeah,
What he
seems
does.
to be lacking in effort. Well, that's just my fault.
Because he's a quality player, we know he's been there and done
Yeah.
it. But
It's a bit like Charlie Brown. You don't go from star boy, Champions League, Chelsea to scratching about in the bottom of League Two
No.
if there's something to miss.
Yeah, true. But something's got to change, hasn't it? Something's
it
got
has,
to change.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of fans going down to Worthing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, there's
fair
quite a
play
lot
for them.
making
Yes.
a weekend
Yeah.
of it,
Yeah,
and
brilliant.
others going on the train and stuff. So there's still that dedication there from the fans.
Fans are unreal this season. Like, apart from the bit of booing and stuff, but I think to make that effort to go to Worthing, after the run of away games that we've had, it's a top effort.
I went to Wimbledon. There's 120 odd there, you know, on a Tuesday night, and you're thinking, where have they all come from? Why are they here? You know, I was there and I enjoyed it. I mean, the result wasn't what we wanted, but enjoyed it. But talking about the fans and stuff that we can change, do you think we've heard about this protest group this week? Is that anything that you think can do any good, Jimmy?
I don't like negativity, as you can tell. I'm always positive, or try to be positive, and I feel that it's starting to. Is it rubbing off on the players? And what I mean by that is, we can't change many things. So we can't change the owner because that's. We're trying. He's trying to. Jason is trying to get out, isn't he? And obviously we're waiting for the EFL, which is right because we want the right kind of owner. And we can't really change players because we have to wait till January. We haven't really got the money. And we can't really change Derek because we're going to get in, and I don't want to get rid of Derek. No. So the only thing we can change is us as fans. So there's £4,000 going across the Hurley Flyer maybe on an afternoon. Let's all get into the club. Let's work with the club. Let's create a terrace or somewhere where people can go. Spend money after the game. Spend money before the game. And let's be rousing in the stand. And what I mean by that is I'm sick of hearing Jason out. I don't want to hear Jason out. I want to hear a song for Stotty. We haven't got one. I want to hear a song for Adam Lewis. We haven't got one. We've got Ben Tollett, and that seems to be sort of sung to death at the minute, but that's because he's the only one scoring goals. But let's get behind all the players, because that is the lift that gives the lads on the pitch the lift, and then that is the thing we can change. Let's do it.
I think the will is there. I mean, you know, you've been there. We've stood at the end of games, haven't we, Mark, and clapped them off the pitch. You know, none of this is aimed at the players, is it?
That was horrible watching it empty. I stand on the Berlin Wall.
When
I
the
looked at that
fourth
end.
goal went in, and
That
it
was
was like
lame,
a
it was-
massive
No, it was horrible to see.
Yeah,
that.
you
I
see
hate
it.
that.
You see it on the ground where people go and when
Yeah,
we're
but
winning, when we're winning, people get up and leave. And it's
Yeah.
like, why leave a game till? Why leave a game till not?
I mean,
When it's not
I did it
finished.
years and years and years ago. I got a lift with a mate of mine's dad, and he's like, "Come on!" And there was like 5 minutes of the game. He says, "We'll get the bus before the queues start." And we scored 2 goals in the last 5 minutes. And I was about 8 then, and I swore never ever again am I leaving a game before the end.
Wow, people left Crew away and then
Yeah. Shame on them.
Port Vale, we lost 7-2. Still stayed till the end of the game. I've never left a game.
I remember Dagenham in the playoffs.
Yeah.
6-0.
Yeah.
We still stopped and
Still
clapped
there.
him off, didn't we?
Yeah.
Jim Bentley mentions that. And Dave ourselves, he couldn't believe how we stopped and clapped him off.
Gravesend, I think, when we were getting paggered 6-0, and there's about 20 of us doing a conga around the thing. But I mean, the fans that are playing, what do you think about this balloon gate that happened on Saturday? What was all that about?
It left a sour taste in the mouth afterwards, didn't it? It was a bit heavy-handed. I think the club have gone all in on tennis balls. You know, like it's the fashion at the minute, isn't it? For tennis balls on the pitch. So I think they went for the worst-case scenario. Not look good, but
So they were on high alert, do you think?
I
Is
think
that
they were.
all it was?
Yeah,
really?
I think they were too high alert.
I
Yeah.
hope it's just not going to. I hope it won't backfire. Now they think to themselves, "Oh, well, the balloons didn't work.
Let's try something
Let's
else.
try something
Yeah.
else."
I think you can imagine you can understand why they would be on high alert. It's on TV.
Yeah.
If it's anything, if it's like 300 beach balls on the pitch that disrupts the game on TV, the EFL have then got to act. And it's a fine, isn't it? So you can understand why they're on high alert.
Yeah, but it seems to be a recurring theme, and what I mean by that is just sitting in the stand that they're stopping people having banter with players. I mean, I understand swearing, it's kids about, don't want any of that, but the banter, the shouting, at the away manager and he gives some back, that's what it's all
That
about.
football,
That is
eh?
football, that's
Yeah,
all
it's
it's
like
And they're
football,
stopping
yeah.
that, are they?
And they're
Like-
stopping it, they're staring you out,
Yeah.
the stewards are stood there antagonising, so
There's a fine line.
there's a
isn't there?
fine line and they need to have a word with themselves.
Yeah,
Fair
what,
play.
what are they getting out of
Yeah,
it?
what are they getting out of it?
Are
They're
they
just
getting
creating
enjoyment and
work for themselves.
But the
Yeah,
club
yeah.
responded, didn't they? They give out a decent.
Yeah,
very-
because somebody's
Yeah,
on
yeah,
about
it was
frisking under 16-year-olds and
That's wrong.
confiscating balloons and that sort
Yeah.
of stuff. And then bursting in with a knife or something like that. But I think
They
you're
shouldn't
right.
even have a knife in an environment like
Oh, come on, he's probably been on an FA-approved balloon popping course, I would imagine.
Yeah,
If they
risk
doing it
assessment
all
and everything.
properly.
risk
risk
assessment
assessment.
on the knife and yes.
So ever since Darren Bent and that goal went in off the balloon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunderland,
Ever since
Liverpool.
that, you're not really
Yeah.
meant to have him.
But the club responded. Were you happy with the
I
response?
was, yeah, I thought it was a fair statement, to be honest. They couldn't commit to too much, could they? They said they're going to investigate, send your complaints in, we'll deal with it.
And you can't investigate unless people tell them what they want to investigate.
And hopefully
That's
they
it.
do, it doesn't happen again.
Well, I'm still confident at Worthing. I think we're going to be talking here next week about who we're going to get in the next round of the FA Cup. And until then, I think we'll have a bit of a pop for that. See you next week on Shrimps Fans Panel.